car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Mike Minner, what's up, bro?
When you look at Dylan, you're looking at quarterbacks that kind of come around once every 20 years. And this is a kid I'm looking at, I don't know how old he is, 17, 18 years old. And he is already directing things that 17, 18-year-old kids should not even know. Changing the line protection. Okay, guys, I don't know where we've been 2 weeks of practice. Come on, man. Well, we got guys in the National Football League that can't do that.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. You're here with us on the Daily Nebraskan Show. My name's Vivian.
My name is Andres.
And this is the Newsies Night Shift. And today we have special guest Chloe Fitzgibbon from the news section.
Yo.
Hello.
Yo. So, Chloe, we're basically just going to be asking you a couple of questions about your time in the news section. I know you started right at the end of last semester. What was the hiring process like? What were some of the things that got you interested in being in the DN?
Well, I did high school newspaper when I was younger, last year. But I guess I just wanted to get involved in something that actually put me in the real world situation and allowed me to better actual professional skills. So I at first was going to do the pub board because my sister had done it, and I was kind of stressed out with school and my job and stuff, and I didn't really know if I had time for the DN. But then randomly I just was one day just submitted an application, and I was just well, yeah. And yeah, I guess the hiring process went well. I'm here now.
So did you learn about the DN through your sister then? Or how did you kind of find out about the organization?
I guess probably from my sister didn't do the DN, and she did the pub board, but she didn't really talk about it. No one really told me specifically to do the DN besides maybe some teachers like Chris Graves and stuff. But I mean, I always saw the husk, everyone always talks about, they see the emails and they're like, oh, please stop. My friends said they tried to block them. And then they said they tried to block them. And then this semester, they came back. Somehow they found out how to unblock themselves. So, yeah, and I was I want to be a part of that. Yeah.
Y'all need to read the husk, too.
What y'all know about the husk?
Y'all can find all of the most lit stories we put out through that. And it's sent out every single day, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
So check your emails. The husk is actually from the Daily Nebraskan.
Little plug.
Little plug for the husk. Kind of talking about the husk and stories. What is the first story you wrote about? I remember you like talking about it in budget, and it was lit. Like, so I want you to help.
When she doesn't remember.
So, I don't know.
I think it was the mobile order one. It was
No, wait, that one went so hard. I think I copy edited that one.
Like, no, I was trying to shoot like for something that I thought was safe and I could do, and just to get my footing first, but it turned out pretty well. I thought didn't, it could have gone way worse. So
what was yours? Like, delve into more about what your story was about.
It was just about like the process of mobile ordering, and because a lot of the stories that I write, I feel like are just things I'm like wondering about myself. And I had always been like, how does this mobile ordering process work? Because why do I order something and it says it's almost ready for like an hour?
Hell.
So
Yeah.
That's the best story sometimes, just when you're curious and you ask, and then, hey, you find out.
yeah.
Hey, speaking of curious, if y'all got any curious little questions, don't be shy to drop them into the Curious Cornhusker on the side tab of the Daily Nebraskan website. Yup. Y'all please, because we've been having to create the craziest ones recently, y'all.
Yeah.
What stories are you working on right now, currently?
Yes.
I'm writing about the Indigenous Studies faculty, because they started this year. Before the year started, they only had one person to teach all things Indigenous Studies, which is just crazy. And so they hired 2 new people, and I'm still working on it, but I think it looks like things are looking up for them. And another story I'm writing is about how the Women and Gender Studies department or program just got $100,000 grant.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Just kind of wondering, I know. So basically, Chloe took my beat because I was but not took, y'all. I blessed it upon her. You know how they knight people with the sword.
Yes.
That's what we did actually in the office, y'all. That's what we had to do. But Chloe's been kind of taking on DEI and diversity related stories. So, hey, I know that one. I believe you did one about the garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit more about that story and that process?
Yeah, that was probably the story that kind of got me into the diversity beat, because at first I was going to do housing and dining, but I realized that I care a lot more about people and less about the UNL as an industry and how it works and stuff, and more about things that people are doing and giving voice to those people that are sometimes not as heard. And so the Indigenous Garden story, I just really loved writing about it. I had so much fun writing about it because there was just so much you'd think it'd just be one thing, okay, there's this garden they're making and here's why they're making it, but it delved into reparations, fixing past issues, and all these historical things. And also just I thought the most interesting part about it was just the fact that the campus on UNL, campuses are usually seen as people like the green space, and they want they're looking for just rolling hills of just grass, and that's a European aesthetic thing, and the grass is not made to be here. It's not native, it doesn't use indigenous plants and stuff. And I just thought it was so interesting that an indigenous garden, the indigenous garden is telling people that this can be a place of education and it doesn't have to just be monocultural, just lawn space. It can be plants that are made to be here, and it can be biodiverse and all that. So I just thought it was so cool, and I think I also just loved talking to my sources and stuff. So Yeah.
Now that you're on the DEI beat, like, how do you go about finding stories you want to tell?
I guess I just started, but word of mouth, and also just like I've been talking a lot to Joy Castro, who is the Institute for Ethnic Studies department chair. And so she just like has been so supportive and helpful, and she responds so quickly and stuff. So I probably will continue talking to her and keeping updates with like a lot of updates with the ethnic studies department, hopefully.
Oh, yes. And like, just kind of wondering, like, I know you said this is like, you're still new to the beat and everything. Do you have any like story ideas that you really want to pursue that are just like broader topics specifically within like DEI coverage? Are you still like stewing upon some of those thoughts?
I feel like I am very interested in writing about Indigenous communities here, just because like that's very relevant to Nebraska and UNL because it's a land grant university, and also because there's pretty bad representation at UNL. Like there's not a very, like the numbers are very small. But I also like, I do in my schooling, like I do a lot of learning about immigration and a lot of like specifically like immigration at like the border, like the Mexican border. And so I guess that's something that's important to me specifically. So I guess it'd be a good thing to incorporate in my writing, I'm sure. And yeah.
Well, yes. Also, I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit about your most recent like parking story. We talked about this with Brett the last time because he would have benefited severely from reading that, y'all. But I just kind of wanted to know like your process with writing that story, how you found all that information. I know it was like, it took you like a minute because you were like, how do I find all this stuff? But you did it and you ate that. So I wanted to kind of just know like your process with that story and like some of the fun little things you learned along the way.
It's hard talking to like the directors of those things, like the people that run parking and transit, because obviously they don't want to give away the fact that maybe like they don't want to tell people like ways to avoid ticketing, probably. I mean, I'm just assuming because that's how they make their money. So it was probably, I wish that the interview could have been more on phone so I could have asked like follow-ups and stuff, but it just is how it worked out. It ended up being an email interview, but I got very good information from them. And then there was a lot of information on the website, and that's most of the information that I needed for that story was on the website, but it's so overwhelming that I feel like maybe it was helpful to put it in such simple like Q&A like format for the story, because there's just so many tabs and so many like words, and it just probably gets a lot.
Yeah. I guess, can you walk us through like your writing style, like you from pitching a story to finishing it? Like, what are the steps you take?
Oh, I am a very unorganized person. I find a story idea, write it in my notes, like it'll just like random things will come up, inspiration will like strike me when I'm just like doing some random daily tasks, and usually I think about it a little bit. Sometimes I probably should think about it more, but I pitch it, and usually then I forget about it until till a few days before it's due, and then I'm like really rushing to actually finish it on time. Like I don't know, I struggle with being proactive, but it's something I've been learning a lot. Like I've definitely improved this semester throughout like getting reality checks of, okay, I'm literally writing my story while during the time that I should be receiving the edits for it right now. Like something needs to change here. But and writing stories, my writing style, like I know some people just write, like they start from the beginning and then write and then they're at the end and then or they'll insert quotes after. But the way I do it, I think is, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, I just throw all the quotes that I think are interesting or like useful into a document, and I organize them like in clumps of like what they're related to, and then I like write around the quotes and like will paraphrase and write like my like own words and delete stuff, and so it's not in a straight line at all, and usually and it's probably why I have a lot of edits too, because it's just very all over the place, but it works for me. So
Hey, no, because when I do mine, I do it literally the opposite way. Like I paraphrase and then pray that like they said that, which I know is like, girl, like that's a dangerous little game.
Should
to
you
play.
be revealing that?
But
pray that they said
no,
that.
no, guys, the interview is done, and I'm just like, okay, let me like remember what I said,
Yeah.
and then I lock in. I'm like, okay, let me paraphrase what I think they said, and then if I look back and it's not there, I'm like, oh, so my story is over, and I have to delete the story and quit my job. Like that's what it's like. But kind of just wondering for like editing stuff, like how do you feel like the editing process is like compared to when you started to now? Because I know when I started and I saw the like 100 edits Jerry and Owen and Ryan would leave me, I'd be like,
some a failure. Some a failure.
But just kind of wondering, like, since like your timeline has been like different compared to mine, like just like how long we've been there and everything, like have you seen also that kind of improvement and that understanding of the field?
Yeah, I guess I'm used to, like, I don't take feedback personally like that. Like, I'm aware that I just turned in a story that I didn't read through, and I knew it was going to happen. So,
that's so raw.
like, I know I didn't, like, double check it. So I can take it, but I know, like, sometimes edits are just... I don't know what I'm saying, but I guess I really like the editing process at the end because it's just very like goes through many people, like has like a lot of eyes on it. Like I feel a lot like more secure in it going out for publication, knowing that it's not just me and then one other person that is gonna like look at it and make sure it's okay. So. Yeah, I guess sometimes it is kind of daunting, like especially when I'm like I'll be like typing something or like still doing something, and then someone will hop on my thing and I'll be like, they're literally watching me like think right now, like they're watching the process of me like write this out. This is so scary. So
because that's literally like whenever you write breaking news and there's like 14 people on the document and it's like, bro, help me.
Oh, that's so scary.
Like that's how I feel every time. So like.
Because the amount of times I have to go back, like I type something out that is like, what are you saying? And then I have to go back and delete it, and then I type it out again. And it's like, they would all see that and just, I could not do that.
Who would you say, like, have helped you grow at the Daily Nebraskan, or like people you see as mentors that you work with?
Well, definitely Jerry. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he just has like a really cool leadership style. Like, he does a really good job of trying to help you grow and not just focusing on like the product and like making things like a learning moment. So
Jerry is our senior news editor.
Yes, y'all, he's graduating.
Don't talk about it.
No, like I'm gonna miss him so much. Kind of talking about how positions are changing too. Vivian here, y'all. She's a traitor.
She's
a liar.
Guys.
She betrayed us.
But we're happy for her.
But no, we're very happy for her. She is moving on over to.
I'm gonna be the assistant culture editor.
And she ate
guys.
that. And she ate that.
Newsies night. I'm still a newsie right
now.
We'll collab.
We'll do some.
Trust. Culture and news are gonna be best friends next year. But
yeah,
senior staff just got announced, so lots of like envisioning how the future of the DN is going to look, but it's also a very exciting time, and I'm excited to see where this new staff is going to take us and, you know, help our mission grow. So
it'll be lit. It'll be lit, y'all. Sorry, I just had to hype up Vivian there for a little, y'all.
Yeah,
we didn't even bring that up yet. Dang.
There's big changes happening, though. It's really sad.
Chloe, so.
Well, yes. Well, over summer too, Chloe, since we are kind of coming to a little bit of a closure, you know, what are you going to be doing this summer? Like, it can be journalism related. It can be just working that retail or that service job. Like, cause y'all, I'll be rotting, trust.
Yeah. I still have my retirement home job.
Yeah.
Tell the people about it.
Oh, should I? This might be a legal issue. There's been a lot going on.
Never mind.
No, but it's a solid job. It was my high school job, and I still, because I'm a Lincolnite, so I just kept my high school job, and we wear our bow ties, our little uniform, and I have like a lot of connections to the place, but I guess I'll probably, after this summer, try to get a job more related to like the things I want to go into, because I don't know if serving at a retirement home is in my is really benefiting my future growth, but this summer, I guess I just really want to, before I enter like internships and 9-to-5s, I'd really like to enjoy the summer and go on maybe like some trips, some like road trips. I've never really been a big traveler. It was just not something like my family did a lot, so I'm gonna try and start seeking that out myself.
Well, yes. Well, we are approaching the end of the Newsies night shift for tonight, you guys. However, you guys have a great little night of listening. We've got a bunch of great stuff coming on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll send it on over to sports.
Thank you.
Bye.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF. I thought I was your best friend forever. BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first. That sounds like a match made in heaven. Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Spring is here, and Acres is offering special financing on select new John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Visit your nearest Acres store and test drive all the latest John Deere turf equipment and attachments. And for a limited time, with the purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Offer expires April 30, 2024. Subject to approved credit by John Deere Financial.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Clothes dryer not drying like it should? Could be your dryer vent. Call Bryant for a professional cleaning. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back into the Daily Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Ben and Anthony now with you. Thank you to Vivian and Andres for doing the news night shift. But they're only going to have 2 more episodes if we're going to end in the summer.
It's unfortunate, but
it is.
Next year.
Anthony, you should put your mic down. It's kind of in your face. But
gotcha.
No, you're good. So this first segment, we want to, well, I guess it's second segment, we want to touch on NFL draft because we're now in the sports part of the show, and NFL draft is tomorrow.
Yep.
April 25th. So a lot of hype around Caleb Williams getting drafted to the Bears, probably 99% chance he's going to be getting drafted by the Bears. They traded Justin Fields. They have the number 1 pick. Caleb Williams is seen as this generational talent. That's not going to be a surprise. Kind of feels like, Joe Burrow to Bengals, Trevor Lawrence to Jaguars, those kind of things. It's that much of a lock. After that, there's a lot of questions because there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, but there's not. This is a good quarterback class, but after, the first, 3, it kind of starts going, I don't want to say downhill, but, older quarterbacks that are not these young prospects that have the same potential as, the top 3.
Yeah, it's very interesting to look at. You got the top 3 of Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May. A lot of people thinking that might be just the top 3 picks in the NFL draft.
It probably will be.
Exactly. You got Bears who need a quarterback and, like you said, are almost certainly going to pick Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
You got Washington who needs a quarterback, and New England who also needs one. So it's very top heavy there. And then, you got the other 3 of JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix, who are just definitely some gambles to be taken as a first round pick. I think all 3 of them are certainly caliber of that selection, but there's just a lot weighing on those choices.
Yeah, and then you got, Michigan's quarterback, McCarthy. Where is he gonna go?
Yeah,
do you this? I know when we were talking about draft when Joseph was on the show. I think this was last week. He was thinking that the first 4 picks are gonna all be quarterbacks, and I wouldn't be surprised because there are just a lot of teams that need quarterbacks in this draft. Now, do I think JJ McCarthy is a top 4 pick worthy of a quarterback? No, I view I'm trying to compare him to a recent quarterback, and Mac Jones is the closest I can think of. He's better than Mac Jones. I'm not saying he's gonna, be Mac Jones, but that's kind of what I'm envisioning. I do think he's a little bit better, so I think he should be picked a little bit higher, but 4th pick seems pretty high for me. But, because of the demand for quarterbacks, though, even if he's maybe the talent's not quite there for it because of the demand at the position, it could likely push him up all the way to the 4th pick. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that much. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely just a high demand for quarterbacks. I don't think he sneaks into the top 5 or even top 10, I would say. A team that I'm really interested in, who I think would take a gamble on him if he falls, is the Minnesota Vikings at number 11.
Yeah.
I mean, losing Kirk Cousins in the offseason, you bring in Sam Darnold, which, is not the guy you want, especially for a team that has the talent as Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, all those weapons. They still think that they can contend in the NFC North, in the NFC in general. And I think kind of the writings on the wall there to pick a quarterback in this draft after losing your franchise guy to Atlanta.
No, I agree. I mean, the Vikings, they need a quarterback. Patriots need a quarterback. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting about teams. I mean, Falcons,
Denver.
maybe. Denver. I mean, they traded for Zach Wilson.
Hey,
man, that's their new franchise quarterback, Zach Wilson. By the way, every single quarterback from that draft class has gotten traded. Like, that was in the 1st round besides Trevor Lawrence.
Wow.
Zach Wilson got traded. Trey Lance got traded. Justin Fields got traded. Mac Jones got traded.
And that's one of those other deep quarterback classes people thought about.
I know. That was seen as like one of the best quarterback drafts like of recent history, and not so much. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback out of that draft class, and he's good. Jacksonville didn't have that great of a season this last year, though. So it makes you wonder. But back to this draft, I just thought that was very interesting. But I mean, yeah, Caleb Williams going to be going number 1. Between Drake May and Jane Daniels, which one of those quarterbacks do you like better? Because I know there's a lot of controversy on who the second best quarterback is in this draft. For me, I really like Jane Daniels, but I know Drake May is also a very good prospect.
I agree. I think May's the better prospect here. He's been getting a lot of hate from people thinking, he didn't have as much success at North Carolina, whereas Jaden Daniels won the Heisman last season. But the potential is just there with Drake May. He's a great playmaker. He has a great arm. Not saying Daniels doesn't have it either, but Drake May, he just didn't have the cast that Jaden Daniels had at LSU, at UNC. And yeah, I think Washington's going to go with Jaden Daniels as their quarterback, but I would pick Drake May number 2.
I got to be honest. I think it's going to be Drake May. Just because, I mean, see, this is the thing, is because the Commanders, I almost said Falcons, the Commanders, when they drafted Sam Howell, and he's from North Carolina. That was, so I wonder if that's going to maybe deter them from wanting to draft another North Carolina quarterback, or maybe, I mean, because Sam Howell, I mean, that really wasn't that bad of a pick. I mean, Sam Howell, for being a later pick, he didn't do that bad.
He showed his flashes here and there.
It's hard to land an elite quarterback in the, after the 1st round. It's just it's not very common. Even drafting quarterbacks in the 1st round, it's hard to find an elite quarterback, let alone day 2, day 3 quarterback picks. But I feel like Drake May fits more of what they're trying to do in Washington. I would say Jane Daniels should be if I was a GM, I would say Jane Daniels, but I do think Drake May goes number 2. But one thing that is just really grinding my gears is that Marvin Harrison is just no one cares. And he's just he's so electrifying at the wide receiver position. And it's really interesting to me that it's just the quarterbacks have been all the talk. Not much has been said about Marvin Harrison, in my opinion.
I agree. I think he'll go number 4, to the Cardinals, pair him up with Kyler Murray. But this is just such a great prospect. He showed all of his potential at Ohio State, especially this past season, winning the Biletnikoff. But yeah, he's really just kind of flew under the radar a little bit as of late. Wasn't the case during college football season. People were always just clamoring about him. And Caleb Williams were kind of the 1 and 2 guy. But now as Drake May and Jaden Daniels and quarterbacks just start moving forward in these conversations, it's very, very interesting to see how underrated he's kind of getting. And that you can really say that with, I think, the top 3 receivers in this class: Marvin Harrison, Rome Odunze, and Malik Neighbors, all top 10 picks, I think.
It's really gonna be hard to see how this top of the draft is gonna shake up, because if teams are chasing quarterbacks, it wouldn't surprise me if the top 4 picks would all be quarterbacks. Because, do you want to sit there and wait and then have to, not saying that, someone like Bo Nix is just a terrible pick, but, kind of a step below the top 3, even top 4 with McCarthy. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I like this quarterback draft class. I feel like the demand for it is going to make it, like, I don't feel like this quarterback draft class is so great to that. What am I trying to say? I don't feel like it's that great that the demand is going to be like reasonable. Like, I feel like the demand is going to be way too much for quarterbacks that aren't really difference makers, in my opinion. Like, I just don't see Drake May as a difference maker. Am I wrong to think that? Or JJ McCarthy? I don't see him as a difference maker. Like, let's say I'm the Vikings and I trade up to get JJ McCarthy. One, is that even going to keep Justin Jefferson there? And if it's not, why are you trading up for someone that's, let's just face it, not really going to be an elite quarterback in the NFL? Like, this is he's just not going to be. He can be very solid quarterback. I could see him being someone like, Jared Goff, who can be a good quarterback if he's got the right cast around him, but not a guy that's going to elevate the team and push the team to be, elite like some of these other quarterbacks can be. So, and even in the top 3, Drake May, I don't see him as being that either. There's a lot of potential, but there's also a lot of bust potential with that pick. Jane Daniels also, he's not the purest passer. There's a lot of potential there, but again, it just, if he doesn't go to the right team, even Caleb Williams, I see Caleb Williams as a great draft pick for the Bears, but again, it's the Bears. So, I don't feel like these quarterbacks are really they're going to meet the demand, because there's so many teams that need a quarterback, but I just don't know if these are quarterbacks that can push the teams that they're probably going to go to over the top.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think Caleb Williams certainly has at least that kind of superstar potential, but really after that, Jaden Daniels and Drake May, I think I hold them, obviously, as the top 3 picks. I hold them to a higher regard than JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix. But still, I don't know exactly, like you said, really boom or bust caliber players depends on the situation they're drafted in, which it's just very, very interesting to see if one of these teams, me personally, I wouldn't have a guy like Penix or Nix in the top 20, but a team's probably going to reach and pick one of them. So
that's the thing. Just even going back to, the Trevor Lawrence draft class, it was I feel like Trevor Lawrence is kind of, and Caleb Williams, those are same, like these great quarterback prospects, guys that are seen to be franchise caliber quarterbacks. After that, it was like Zach Wilson, a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but he was at BYU. That kind of you know what I mean? And then you had Trey Lance, who, what did did he go to North Dakota State? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Just not a big time college team, so didn't play that tough a competition. And then Mac Jones is kind of like the JJ McCarthy of this draft. He was on this super team and won a national championship, but is he really that good? I really see a lot of similarities between that draft class and this one. And that's what's making me worried about all these teams that might be trading up for these quarterbacks, because are they really that great at quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'd see those comparisons as well. It's very interesting. And I think a lot of it, could be some teams looking not at this draft necessarily, but next year's draft, which at least from right now is very weak at the quarterback position. The number 1 QB is probably going to be Carson Beck from Georgia, which is, again, just like another JJ McCarthy-esque player, guy who's on a super team, puts up good numbers because of that. Who knows how much of that is really to himself. So it's just very interesting to see, how this is going to play out tomorrow. It's going to be just very, very fun to see, which teams do what things. I expect some teams to, maybe overvalue a couple of these quarterbacks, but we'll see.
That's what happens every draft, though. This isn't just an outlier for a draft.
Yeah.
Every draft, the quarterback position is just so like that, where it's so hard to compete in the NFL if you don't have a top quarterback. It's just so hard. I'm going to bring up my Dolphins. Tua, probably a top 10 quarterback in the league. I don't feel like that's too much of a stretch. He's probably a top 10 quarterback in the league. Even so, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You just like that's literally all I have to say. The Chiefs can be in cap misery, have to be paying Patrick Mahomes all this money, which they're not even paying him that much money, to be honest, compared to other teams for their quarterbacks. But you know what I mean? Like the Chiefs, even when you feel like they're a weak team, weak year for them, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like the Dolphins have to have a perfect roster around Tua, and he's a top 10 quarterback. That just shows there's not that many quarterbacks that are like that. So that's why every team is just hoping to land, the next Patrick Mahomes. Because remember, what was he? A 12th, 13th pick?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Mitchell Trubisky was the number 1 pick in that draft, or
number two, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so it's just like quarterback position's crazy.
Yeah, you really just don't know. And it's really just on how much time you think a team has with a guy. I mean, talking about my team, the Green Bay Packers, picking Jordan Love when you have Aaron Rodgers.
That made a lot of people mad.
I was mad at that pick when it first happened. I mean,
it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out this past year. He had to sit for the first 3 years, but then it worked out this past season. And now he looks like I'd put him in top 10 quarterback conversation. I don't know about you. Might need to see more from it. I understand. But
yeah,
I think, he certainly showed what he can do last year. So it's just very interesting, how much, not only how much do these guys trust these players right now, but how much are they trusting them moving forward on their team? Because there's some teams who, just don't have that urgency, or like think about a while back, Josh Rosen with the Cardinals had him for 1 year, traded him away, drafted Kyler Murray. So
traded him to the Dolphins.
Oh,
Dolphins gave a first pick, I think, or a second pick for him. Waste the draft picks. Yeah. Josh Rosen was not good. But with that, we're going to throw it to break. When we come back, we're going to get some NFL. Oh my gosh, that NFL NBA playoff talk, because my Heat won.
I know.
Woo! Heat won against the Celtics 1-1 heading back to Miami.
Did
We'll
not
touch on
expect
that. We'll touch on that and more next segment right here on the Daily Nebraskan Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Spring is here, and Acres is offering special financing on select new John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Visit your nearest Acres store and test drive all the latest John Deere turf equipment and attachments. And for a limited time, with the purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Offer expires April 30, 2024. Subject to approved credit by John Deere Financial.
Hey, Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade. Brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer. Usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hello? Hello?
Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back into the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. One last segment. Ben, Anthony, still here with you. We're going to close out the show with some NBA playoff talk and we're going to start with the biggest news of the night. And at least to me, the Heat beat the Celtics. So it's official. The Heat own the Celtics. If the Celtics somehow lose to the 8 seed Heat back-to-back years, they should be considered a poverty franchise, and they should have to move to the Western Conference just because, it'd be embarrassing.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely would not hear
with
the
no
end
Jimmy
of
Butler.
it. Yes,
With no Jimmy
exactly.
Butler.
With no Jimmy Butler, a team that really dominated the Eastern Conference all regular season, 64 wins, best record in the NBA. If the Heat were to somehow win 3 more games, that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, it would be a long offseason for them.
I mean, yeah, they would have to split up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum if that happens. Like, no, literally, I'm not even joking anymore. They would have to. Like, I think that would be the end of the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown experiment if they somehow lose to the Heat. I still think Celtics are going to win the series. But if they do somehow lose the series to the Heat with no Jimmy Butler, you have to break up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Yes or no?
I don't think they would, just because, of how much money they've invested into them, especially how much money they invested in this team. They extended Drew Holiday.
I mean, they would just reload. I'm not saying that they'd blow it up. I'm just saying they'd probably trade Jaylen Brown. Do you know how much they could get for Jaylen Brown?
I don't know. With how much money he's making right now, though?
He's still seen as like a quote-unquote superstar, even though he's really not. I would say he's like, I see him in the same class as like a Chris Middleton. Is that like literally?
I think higher than that. I mean,
I don't know, man. He can't dribble with his left hand. I don't know, man. Yeah, I really, like, where is he ranked? Because I don't. He's not top 10, obviously. He's not. Yeah. He's probably not top 20. Top 30, maybe.
Probably top 30. I'd put him around the range of like maybe Pascal Siakam. Like, I mean, he's kind of going off for the Pacers right now.
That's another story. Pacers beat the Bucks, so that was interesting. I was having the Bucks come out of the East, but I don't know. Damian Lillard and Giannis need to get. Well, I guess Giannis
isn't back
yeah,
yet.
he's not even back yet.
But
I had a brain fart. Yeah, he's not even back, but still, they're still probably win. I'm still confident Bucks will do good once Giannis comes back. But no, it's gonna. It is interesting because I mean, Jason Tatum is obviously seen as this top 10 NBA player. Some people even think he's top 5. I don't know if I go that far, but he's definitely like a top 10 NBA player. And just I don't know if the combo of him and Jaylen Brown, if they lose to this Heat team, I feel like you have to break them up. I just really think you'd have to, because I know you have a lot of money invested in it. This team is trying to win, but you can't continue to just run it back year after year after year after year and expect a different result. Like, what else does this team need? This team has everything to take it possible. Like, this team actually can't get any better. They're up against the tax. They can't really improve that much more. Like, this is it. This is your year. If they don't get it done this year, not only that, like, if they would get to the finals, lose to the Nuggets, whatever, run it back. If you get first rounded with this team, you might even have to fire Joe Mazzulla.
I see that probably as the most
likely
outcome of if they were to lose this first round series is get rid of Mazzulla, because the Celtics still, like, while yes, be very disappointing end to the season, they still just look back at the past couple of years. They've made the Eastern Conference Finals both years. They made the finals a few years back. Just there's so much they've shown potential. They just haven't got the championship yet. But you just think that I would say it's a matter of win with this team, but you are right. The time is ticking. Like, they are running out of time. This is without a doubt their best chance, because you don't know what's going to happen next year. You don't know if an injury is going to happen. You don't know if another team's going to just emerge out of nowhere. So,
I mean, even that, I mean, like, everyone, like, I still find it weird that everyone is still considering Jason Tatum like this young superstar. Like, he's in his prime.
Yeah.
How old is Jason Tatum?
19.
He's not.
He's 26 right now.
He's 26. Like, that's like 27 is considered like the start of your prime, right? 26, 27, whatever.
Feel like it, yeah.
And I mean, his birthday was just in March, so he just turned 26. But still, like, he's not really this young superstar anymore.
Been in the league for 7 years now.
Like, like, right? Like, I mean, Bam Adebayo, like, no one says for the Heat, Bam Adebayo is this young superstar. Like, everyone acts like he's a veteran now. And that's because he's been to the finals 2 times and he gets to the Eastern Conference Finals like every year. Because he's with like it's just funny to me because no one says that about Joel Embiid. No one says that about Jokic. No one says, I mean, I'm trying to even think of people like who was even in that Jason Tatum? That was like De'Aaron Fox. No one says, oh, young superstar De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
There's just something about like Celtics media or something that still thinks he's like 23 or something. It's just it's really weird to me.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, look at just some other guys, Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're 25, which I still feel some young talks for like SGA, but that's because he's really just broken out this past couple of years. But
Doncic, I mean, yeah. I mean, they're young, they're younger. I'm not gonna say like, they're a young superstar, like, like Victor Wembanyama. Like he's a young super, like he's a rookie. Like I feel like once you've been in the league, like once you've signed a contract extension, you're not a young superstar anymore. Like you are in your prime. Like once you sign a contract extension, I don't want to hear like young put by their name anymore. I know like I'm not saying 26 is old. I'm just saying like it's like almost they use that as like a way to be like, oh, he's still, just a young superstar. That's why they didn't beat the Heat when the Heat were in 8 seed last year. Like I'm tired of that. But other news, Thunder beat the Pelicans.
Yep.
They're up, what, 2-0?
2-0, yep.
I really thought the Pelicans would maybe take a game in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it looked like in game 1, it was a very close game, went down to the wire. But I mean, this one, 124-92, OKC picks up the win. Just a great performance from really their whole entire starting lineup. SGA had 33, Chet Holmgren had 26. And it's just hard not to like this team. I was watching the post-game interview with Chet and SGA, and then they had the whole team just behind them, listening to them, laughing with them. It's really just such a cool and fun culture of one of the youngest teams in the league. it's just going to be so fun watching this team going forward.
Honestly, I mean, even the Pelicans do lose to the Thunder. Like, that's a young team.
Yeah,
that's a young team. Even the Thunder, both really young teams. So it's fun that I always want, like, one of them has to go to the next round. So it's going to be fun to see, no matter who wins, Thunder, Pelicans. It's going to be fun. I just love watching young teams go far in the playoffs because it's always just like, man, what are they going to do next year?
Exactly.
Like, that was kind of the thing, with the Cavs. It was like, man, this Cavs team last year, I know they didn't make it out of the first round, but it's like, this Cavs team is good last year. And they're even better this year. But with that, thank you for listening into the Day One Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We'll be right back here, same time, 11 to 12. It'll be me and Joseph. But until then, see ya.
Lincoln, you wanted more sweet and spice in your life, and now you've got it. At Wings and Rings, their brand new Hot Honey has all of Lincoln buzzing. Try their one-of-a-kind house-made sauce on the brand new Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich or their Hot Honey Shrimp and Slaw. And of course, you can get it on the traditional, boneless, or smoked wings that have made Wings and Rings your go-to neighborhood spot. Hot Honey was